So I decided to do this one live, and we're currently waiting the news on what's going to be happening with Donald Trump. So probably keep this stream up for a couple hours. Days like this are really hard to produce recorded news segments. So this is about what we got for all of you, a live segment. So smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, share the stream if you support my work. Become a member at Timcast.com. Of course, right now, we are awaiting news on Donald Trump's arrival and speech outside of the Manhattan courthouse. There have been protests. We got a bunch of different stories pertaining to this. And, I'll just tell you outright. On days with massive breaking news like this, there's nothing else. There's 800 different versions of the exact same story. And so considering that, and considering we have a breaking update that they're going to be announcing what the charges are at any moment, I said, screw it. We'll do it live. So get your super chats in, chat below. We're just hanging out with a special breaking segment today, and this will probably be it until Timcast IRL tonight. But there's a lot of stuff we can still talk about, so we will. And then I'll basically just take your super chats as we await the news on what's going to be happening with Donald Trump. So I have Twitter pulled up. We've got a bunch of videos that we'll be going through. But we'll get started here with this news right now. What do we got here? I'll be tracking some breaking news. We've got Marjorie Taylor Greene joining the protests outside. We've got, I believe, Jack Posobiec as well, bullhorning, criticizing Bragg, and we'll be pulling in news stories as they come. The first thing I want to say, as we're awaiting breaking news on what's going to be happening, I want to show you this story from, as I fight a sneeze, from the New York Post. 3/4 say Trump indictment political, but most still approve. I think this is important context as to what we are seeing and what will likely happen. They say that CNN, SSRS survey found that 60 Americans approve of the indictment. Overall, 40% disapprove, including 25% who strongly disapprove. So they're lumping that number together. When asked how big a part politics played in the indictment, a whopping 76% said it played some part, with 52% saying it was a major reason. So I did talk about this in the earlier segment, but that right there says everything. That's the scary thing about all of this to me. They know it's political. They don't care. So when I'm talking with Charlie Kirk and I'm saying that I believe we stand on the precipice and we're closer to civil war than we've ever been, and Charlie disagrees. He says he thinks the system's more resilient than that. I just can't believe it. Respect his opinion. I think it was a fascinating conversation. I can't believe it and I can't see it. Because when you have people outright say they know this is political and they're happy about it, they're telling you outright they are using the power of law enforcement in violation of the law, in violation of social norms, in violation of the Constitution. They're doing it because they want to win an election. That's it. That's what they're saying. And that's what we're witnessing right now. So, forgive me if I don't have a whole lot of confidence in what's going on in terms of this country coming back together. We saw the other day, Marjorie Taylor Greene appeared on 60 Minutes, and she said that, she said Democrats were pedos, and the left obviously lost their minds over it. But she's talking about these videos where there's another video right now where they've got a drag queen literally grooming kids on video. It's just outright telling the kids to do these things. And that's what she's referring to. If Democrats live in that world, but I'll tell you, I think most of them just don't know what's going on. They don't care. And then you have their more fundamentalist, zealous base that will defend anything they do. The end result is going to be inevitable. It's going to be chaos, I guess. So this will be a bit unorthodox, I suppose, as we're mostly just going to be hanging out waiting for the news to break, because the latest update I'm hearing is that they announced sometime between now and Donald Trump's arrival at the courthouse, they will be releasing the indictment. So we'll get that news up. And in the meantime, if you guys want to super chat, I will be just generally taking your questions and having a conversation with you guys. But we'll start with another story we have here. Donald J. Trump is innocent. Marjorie Taylor Greene joins hundreds of supporters outside of Manhattan court ahead of arraignment. Green told the crowd she came to New York City to peacefully protest against the persecution of an innocent man. We got a video here. So from the post-millennial, how about we just play it? Let me, I believe audio is good.
Back up. Everybody back up. Everybody back up.
Okay, so for those that are just listening, suffice it to say, it's getting a little crowded. Let's jump to see if we can jump to Marjorie speaking. I guess not. Here we go.
You're fascist.
Not just any man. This is the former president of the United States of America. And the
Move back to
government
Georgia.
has recognized against him.
Represent your
I'm here
constituents.
to protest and use my
Piece of
voice to
shit.
take a stand.
All right, well, you can't really make out what's being said. She's saying I'm here to protest and use my voice to take a stand. Every American should take a stand. This is what happens in communist countries, not in the United States of America. We have to take a stand against the injustice, the corruption, and the communist Democrats. Some protesters called her a fascist. Okay, I don't think I need to explain to all of you the absurdity of the current political state of this country. Calling a person a fascist because they're saying you should not use the weight of government against political opponents. It's just laughable, I suppose. The funny thing about it is these are the people who were saying that Donald Trump was threatening to use the weight of government against his political opponents. With Hillary Clinton, when he said lock her up, when he said you'd be in jail, and with Joe Biden, when we stumbled upon Joe Biden's corruption in Ukraine. Now, by all means, you can say maybe we shouldn't go after political opponents that way. And if that's your argument, fine. How are you justifying going after Donald Trump in much the same way? By lying and saying this one's not political. Okay. Well, I tell you, the Clinton Foundation was taking a lot of money from foreign interests while Hillary Clinton was the Secretary of State. You mean to tell me that there was no effort to look into any of that? There's no special counsel. There's no investigation. You couldn't infer when the State Department gave special favors to foreign countries and took hundreds of millions of dollars from the same countries. You could not infer a benefit being transmitted to the Clintons using our government as their vehicle to do so. It's funny. When Hillary Clinton lost the election in 2016, Clinton Foundation donations dried right up. No inquiries, no complaints. Nobody cares. They care about Donald Trump, though, because they're insane. And that's why I think that there's no path out of this. I don't see how we begin to navigate in a way that brings everyone together. It just doesn't make sense. You've got people who literally do not care about the truth. Now, they'll argue the same is true about me or you, but that's just literally not true. You know, you show these people videos, and what do they say? They say, I don't care. And that's what we hear the most. We invite them on the show. They say no, because they don't care. Only the grifters, the people who just make weird drama videos about people and not ideas. And then they just, I won't say anybody's names in that regard. But while we're waiting the breaking news, and I have Twitter pulled up to see if we get the real-time announcement about the charges against Donald Trump. Let me see. Here's what is this? No, now I'm looking at a video of David Hogg shooting. What is he, clay shooting? I have no idea what he's trying to get across here by clay shooting or whatever. But anyway, we got Jack Posobiec giving a statement. So I want to pull this one in for you guys. Mr. Jack Posobiec, friend of the show, here he is in front of the courthouse.
Why are we here this morning? I'll tell you why we're here this morning. Because Joe Biden and the Democrats and the media are terrified of the people of this country. They're terrified of free Americans. They're terrified of the voters. They're terrified of people having a voice. And that's why they're trying to put a gag order on President Donald John Trump. Have you heard that, a gag order? Well, you know what I say to Alvin Bragg and his gag order? Boo!
Jack Posobiec says, I say boo. That's what he says.
To Gavin Wax thanks to all the New Yorkers and the free Americans who stand here with me today. They can gag Donald Trump, but they can't gag all of us, and they will not gag all of us. Our voices will be heard, and we will not stop. They want us to go home. They want us to be silent. They want us to quit. Well, I can't quit. I'm not going to quit because I'm not letting the United States of America go down like that. And that procession that we saw yesterday, that motorcade, the same way we're about to see a motorcade here just in a few moments. That's the funeral procession of our republic. But I'll tell you something right now. We will rebuild, we will restore, and America will be reborn. Mark my words, America will be reborn. You cannot defeat the American people. You cannot defeat the American spirit, and you will never silence the United States of America.
All right, good for Jack. Good for Jack Posobiec. We got ALX here. We'll check his Twitter account for any updates. We got Marjorie Taylor Greene giving a statement here as well.
Also, to the Mayor Adams, as you can see, I'm sitting here peacefully protesting, but you called me out by name. While you allow crime in your streets and you send your henchmen down here to commit assault against people by making loud noises, assault against police officers who are doing their jobs, trying to keep things civil, trying to prevent violence. Democrats are the party of violence. They're the party that enabled and funded and cheered for violent riots all through 2020. And they allowed cities to be burned, $2 billion worth of damage. That's the Democrat Party. But we're the party of peace. We're the party that wants to protect the lives of the unborn. We're the party of male and female, two genders only. We're the party of secure borders. We're the party that will bring peace to the world like President Trump did, not World War III like Joe Biden is doing. We're the party of economic prosperity. We're the party where every American can live the American dream. But the Democrats are the communists. Democrats are the communists. They're destroying America.
Take your pictures, don't push.
Destroying freedom. Democrats are the ones that have nothing to campaign for because they are failures, and they're proving it today. I want to thank the New York City Young Republicans for organizing this protest. I want to thank the press who are here today to cover this protest and allow me to speak and spread my word. And I would like to thank patriotic Trump supporters who are here today.
USA! 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 USA!
All right, well, that was Marjorie Taylor Greene's statement, and we're going to be chilling because the news is trickling in. I don't think there's a reason to play every single little video that pops up just from on the ground. If you follow at Timcast News, we've got Alad Eliyahu currently filming and taking videos down there. But we'll hop over to the live stream here, and we'll pull in your super chats and just talk to you guys about what's going on as we currently await more news on Donald Trump's arraignment. And I'd love to open up the trending tab, Trump arraignment, but I'm not confident. I'm not confident. Twitter's got nasty stuff on it. We'll put it that way. So let's see if I can source some more information from the arraignment. We've got Colbert's bit. You know what? I do think you should hear Colbert's bit, and we'll push back on this one. So I'll pull that up in a second. But for now, I'll grab some super chats from you guys. We got Crazy Savior saying, any chance of morale patch merch? I'd love a Velcro step on Sneck and find out patch that I can put. Well, let me see. Put on my dog's harness, various bags. Perhaps we'll work on that. That would be cool. Eldritchinator says, wouldn't surprise me if they kept this going through 2024 just to interfere with his campaign through force of law. Honestly, don't even expect bail. This is what I'm saying. Why would they give Trump bail? Okay, the only reason they would is because they're scared of what would happen if they don't. But in any other case, citing 34 felony counts, they ain't giving anybody bail, especially someone who doesn't live in the state and owns a private jet. They're going to be like, you can, maybe you'll get bail, but you have to stay in New York State. They're going to give Trump bail and then be like, no, go have fun in Florida and maybe you never come back. That's the literal definition of a flight risk, to be like, go home. Now, when it comes to misdemeanors, they let you leave, right? So there are a bunch of people I knew from Occupy who got arrested and charged with misdemeanors, but they didn't live in New York. So they were like, oh, in a few months, I got to fly back to New York for these charges. It's like, what happens if they don't? You just can't go to New York. Is New York going to file a misdemeanor extradition request? I'm not really convinced they would, to be honest. But people just go back. I mean, this is an important point about the rule of law in this country. Most people facing charges will return to the state and then, face the consequences of them. What would happen if they convict? And I think they inevitably do convict Trump. And then he's just like, I'm not going there. You think Trump will voluntarily submit to going to jail on these charges? Maybe. I don't know, man. I just kind of feel like that would not be the case. All right, here we go. Purple says, do you think this arrest will still lead to Trump getting more votes? Yes. Yes, it already has. Among independent voters, they think it's political. Some of them do like that he's being arrested, which is weird, but I think it's like 30 some odd % of independents approve, but 78% think it's political. He's already got $8 million raised off of this, and much of it is coming from first-time donors. I think it's fair to infer that those first-time donors are going to be first-time voters. Not all of them. Some of them probably voted for him but didn't donate. Now he's probably getting both. All right. Here we go. Let's see. Cody Deich says, have you seen the government records that possibly link Hunter Biden's Ukraine business dealings with COVID origins? Very interesting. Saw this on a Redacted podcast and would love to hear your take. No idea. Don't know anything about it. So I'm not sure. Let's grab some more here. We've got Craig Bragg. DJT was indicted the same week as JC. Well, that's a bold sentence, to be honest. If Trump is held in custody, he will be Epsteined. Trump will rise again on the third day in the form of a dead man switch, releasing every bit of dirt he's collected over the years. I really don't think so. But thank you for your super chat. I really don't think so. I think likely he is going to be released. It's going to go exactly as they've described it, because that is the safest route for everyone involved. I really just can't understand why they're doing this. It seems to be the stupidest possible thing they could have done. They have pushed this country to the brink of collapse. We're standing there on the edge. And the only thing that did happen is they remand Donald Trump, or Trump just say, let me tell you this. What would happen if Donald Trump goes up on the steps of the courthouse and says to all of my supporters, I am here today to tell you, I will not be entering that building. I am going to now turn around, get in my car, and leave. I will then drive to LaGuardia, where I will board my plane and fly back to make the point that they are unwilling to pursue this. And it was a political hack job. Witch hunt. I got to be honest. If it were me, I will just put it this way. I would not be doing what Donald Trump is doing. Not me. Not me. I don't know. I don't know, man. I just don't really understand, to be completely honest, why Trump is choosing to go the route of surrendering when he could have said, your charges are bogus. I reject them. If you got a problem, file an extradition request, because that would have put tremendous pressure on Ron DeSantis. And DeSantis would then be hindered in his ability to run against Donald Trump. So the leverage, I suppose, was for Trump to just be like, no. And then imagine this. Some people have said Trump likes this because it's improved his polling and he's fundraised off it. Sure. Imagine if he said, I'm not going and I need your support to protect me from their extradition attempts. He'd raise even more money. And what could they do about it? They can't send troopers to Florida. Ron DeSantis would then be in the position of having to actually send state troops to extradite Trump. And Trump doesn't need to be as adversarial as, he doesn't need to be 100%. He could simply say, I see the charges. I understand. I am in Florida. If New York seeks to have me brought to New York, they will need to file for extradition. That's all they got to do. That's all Trump has to do. Trump could have said, I reject these charges. I understand they've been filed. I look forward to making my statement if they extradite me. Otherwise, I don't believe they're serious. But Trump chose to surrender. So I don't know. I don't know what anyone's game here is. I don't know what the plan is. Let's see what we got. Malkavius says, hey, Tim, what are the odds, in your opinion, that something violent happens because of this? Very high. I hope not, but very high. I mean, let's be honest. Depends on your definition of what violence is, because people are already getting into scuffles. There's already some weird woman who's covered herself in white paint screaming a whole bunch of racial obscenities. So she's fighting with people. They're trying to get her out of the crowd. There are already people pushing back and forth. Some woman, a Trump supporter, walked on an anti-Trump sign. They flipped it. She fell over. I mean, at the lowest level, it's already happening. In terms of like very serious violence and maiming or death, maybe. I don't know for sure. Maybe not right now, but because of that. Well, I'll put it this way. The likelihood of violence occurring because of this, in my opinion, is 100%. Whether or not it happens now, that's the question. What I mean is, all of these moments have irrevocably damaged this country for the worse, for the worst. And this will likely create a chain of events which leads, at some period of time, to extreme violence. You will be able to look back to this moment as the day this country was forever changed for the worse. For the worst. Let's read some more and get the super chats in, because that's basically what we're doing here as we wait. I'm just tracking the Twitter accounts to see what's currently going on with the Trump arraignment. And you know what? I will pull in the Colbert statement for you guys, and then we'll break this one down. So we got a lot of people, a lot of Trump supporters are speaking out. Trump lawyers seek order forcing Michael Cohen deposition. Now, I do believe we have news. The judge has rejected cameras in the courtroom, so we're not going to be getting that. And that's what the media wanted, I believe. So right now, we're just sitting back and waiting. In the meantime, I think what we'll do is I'll pull in this. George Santos arrived in New York. That was some news. Let's see some breaking news unrelated to what's going on. Oh, the economy is collapsing. That's great. Gold is skyrocketing. There's some news. There's some news. Let's pull in. We're gonna pull in Colbert's bit from last night, which I will play for you, and then we will break down and simply put, reject. Here you go.
So it's a sad, sad, happy day for America, because for the first time in our history, a president has been indicted for paying off a porn star. How are we going to explain that to our grandchildren? Hopefully in the book, Donald and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad NBA. The courthouse was stirring, a big busy throng, awaiting the man with the mushroom-shaped dong.
I'm going to pause right there, address that point. So far, nothing of substance has been said. This is clapter. Clapter is clapping laughter. It's where people are just clapping and laughing and cheering along because you're saying things that entertain their worldview, not that you're actually making a point, which is funny.
Allegedly. Allegedly. One question a lot of people are asking is, will there be a mugshot? Well, I don't know about of him, but here's my mug, and I will definitely be doing a few shots.
So with all due respect to our friend Colbert, so far his whole bit is utter nonsense. But to be fair, when Elon Musk bought Twitter, we cracked open the Louis XIII and everybody shared a small bit of very, very expensive cognac. So sure. The point with this is, I'm not going to sit here and say Colbert is wrong for pouring a shot. I mean, I think Elon buying Twitter is good for the health of this country to deal with the weird algorithms that are manipulating people. And I think the indictment of a former president for the first time in history is a bad thing. But Colbert is allowed to disagree, and he's allowed to celebrate the things that he likes. The only thing you need to understand is this. It doesn't matter whether you agree with Colbert or not. He is cracking open a bottle of what is he pouring? Let's grab that.
But here's my mug, and I will definitely be doing it with you.
Can't tell what he's pouring, but I doubt it's actually real alcohol. The fact is this. While we are lamenting the demise of our constitutional republic, Colbert is celebrating it. That's it. You can call it whatever you want. You can call it justice. That's fine. The point is, whatever the issue we are currently facing, one side laments, one side celebrates. And this is the indictment and arraignment of a former president. The bifurcation of American politics and culture has reached its apex. That's it. It cannot be deeper than the presidency. Now, I know it started in 2016 with the election of Donald Trump. Technically, it started well before this. The fact that Trump got elected showed all of us the bifurcation was there. But now we're several years on, and this is what we're saying. Let's play more of Colbert's waste of time segment, but, you get what you get.
Now, the word is there may not actually be any mugshot because officials are concerned the photo would be improperly leaked. And they argue it's really unnecessary because appearance is widely known. Yeah, you don't need a new photo taken of this guy. We already have tons of pics that would make great mugshots, like this one.
And they show a picture of Trump with Epstein. You know, I wonder about this one because it's like, oh, yeah, I'm curious about that. Now, Trump apparently kicked him out of his club when he found out that Epstein was kind of a nasty guy, to put it very, very, very lightly. But I don't know. I'll absolutely take a look at whatever connections Trump had with Epstein. But then you've also got Clinton. I don't even need to elaborate. You get it. Where do they ever criticize the Clintons in this way? They don't. Or this. Now, this is just, I'm going to skip over this because it's a waste of time just showing pictures of Trump and Trump's butt, and they zoom in on Trump's butt, and it's just like, okay, let's see what you got.
Former president's cronies are all over the TV defending their criminal buddy.
Buddy. Let's put it this way. Trump is innocent until proven guilty. So on what grounds do they call him a criminal? Nancy Pelosi said a grand jury, indicted him, and now he's got to prove his innocence. Literally not how our legal system works. Trump is innocent until you prove him guilty.
Carolina Senator and sad lunch meat, Lindsey Graham. Graham went on the Fox News to encourage the MAGAs to support the ex-pres.
To the conservatives out there, make sure you vote. If you got friends, make sure they vote. If you don't have any friends, go make some friends.
And if you can't make some friends, then look in the mirror in the middle of the night and say it's their loss, Lindsay, and then climb into a bubble bath with a pint of Haagen-Dazs. Former president and a snorkel. Everyone on the right is outraged, and they have a dire warning for average citizens.
It's not even about Donald Trump. It's about every American, because if they can do it to Trump, they can do it to you.
With this indictment, I think it's an indictment on everybody in America. I mean, if it can happen to him, it can happen to you and I.
That if they can do this to Donald Trump, they can do it to you.
If this is what can happen to him, it can happen to anyone.
If they can do that, they can go after you and me.
It's true. If this indictment stands, then no one who has their fixer pay six figures in hush money to their porn star lover, then reimburses that fixer out of business accounts, then falsifies it as legal fees and conspires with the publisher of the National Enquirer to catch and kill stories about his other extramarital affairs as part of another illegal violation of campaign finance laws will be safe.
Oh, wow. Colbert, are you saying that Donald Trump violated campaign finance laws? Let me see if I can... Let me see. What do we have here? CNN. Let me pull this one in. What is this one? Oh, wait. Let me just pull over this story here for you, Mr. Colbert. We got this from CNN Politics. FEC fines Hillary Clinton campaign and DNC over Trump Russia dossier research from 1 year ago. Federal election regulators fined Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign and the Democratic National Committee earlier this month for not properly disclosing the money they spent on controversial opposition research that led to the infamous Trump-Russia dossier. The DNC was fined $105,000 and the Clinton campaign was fined $8,000, according to a letter. Political candidates, blah, 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 blah. So what is this? An FEC violation? They paid a $100,000 fine? More than $1 million flowed from the Clinton campaign and the DNC to the law firm Perkins Coie, which then hired the opposition research company Fusion GPS. That company later hired. So, oh, wow. Okay, so hold on there a minute. What you're saying is that the Clinton campaign and the DNC gave money to a law firm for opposition research that was then billed as legal fees, which they then falsely claimed, and as such were fined for this? Interesting. Now, what appears to be the true story is that Donald Trump's campaign had a problem. Stormy Daniels was claiming that they hooked up. Some argue they never actually did, and she was lying, or who knows. Michael Cohen paid her a six-figure sum not to pursue this story or do this book or whatever it is she was going to do. Now they're claiming that Donald Trump had Cohen pay him. Now at the time, when this news was breaking, we have a letter from 2018 where Cohen's lawyer says that not only did he pay this out of pocket without any direction, he was never reimbursed by Donald Trump or the campaign. Later on, however, after Cohen was targeted, he changed his tune. Started saying, actually, Trump told me to do it. And then they look at Donald Trump's legal fees and say, aha, look there. What I think happened is that Donald Trump got a legal bill from Cohen, doesn't know what it's for, and just paid it. I get a lot of invoices from vendors and lawyers. I don't itemize everything personally. We've got staff here who go through this stuff. So Donald Trump, the billionaire, who's probably got more lawyers than you can count on your fingers and toes, gets another legal bill from Cohen and just tells his CFO or whoever's in charge of the campaign finance to be like, just take care of the bills. They then say, aha, we got you. They go to Michael Cohen and they say, what is this for? And he goes, oh, that's a reimbursement. So if Michael Cohen, of his own volition, charges Trump excess fees to cover his costs for his decision making, and Trump just pays it because he's rich, they now go after Trump with criminal charges. But sure, I guess. Whatever. Let's finish out what Colbert has to say.
Folks, you know the old saying, first they came for the former president, and I said nothing because he is so guilty. If you think his cable news toadies arguments can't get any dumber, then you've never met Eric.
They go after my father for what? A non-disclosure agreement, which every company in the world, every person in the world does?
Wait a second. Eric thinks every person in the world has an NDA? Just curious, show of hands, who here has an NDA? Nobody. Of course you have to say that, or else you'll violate your NDA.
This is the weirdest thing. Colbert's got NDAs. Colbert absolutely has non-disclosure agreements on a ton of things. I think I probably have like 50. When you go into certain buildings that require an ID to enter, studios or otherwise, they typically make you sign NDAs. When you sit down for business meetings, they make you sign NDAs. I've talked with multiple talent agencies and literary agencies and production companies, and you have to sign NDAs. Almost every single company makes their employees sign NDAs. I don't get what the point Colbert is trying to make is by claiming they don't.
So,
it's creepy, really,
whether
watching this.
Anybody likes it or not, this is happening. And it all kicks off when?
Donald Trump is due for arraignment at this Manhattan court tomorrow. Tomorrow.
And you know exactly the joke he's going to make, and it's going to be very crass and crude. They keep saying tomorrow. You know where it's going.
Tomorrow, hush money, porn starro. She said he was a bad lad.
We're not in that era anymore. We are not. We are in a new era. Let me pull up some news for you guys. And let's see what we got here. Okay. I'm just gonna I'm clicking a random article and I will read it to you as it exists on the Washington Post. Plain and simple. Assuming it loads. Maybe they don't want me to load this one right now. It's a particularly bad time for them, I guess. Let's try it again. It's not loading. You know what I can do? Let me see if I can pull an archive. Because they don't want you reading this one. This one's about Obama. Let's see what we got here. Is this one archived? It certainly is. Certainly is. Oh, wow. This was archived a long time ago. A long time ago. Oh. It's just a photograph. It's just a photograph. I'm going to show you this photograph. It's from the Washington Post. Abdulrahman al-Awlaki's birth certificate. Abdulrahman al-Awlaki was killed in an airstrike 2 weeks after a CIA drone strike killed his father, Anwar al-Awlaki. He was born in Colorado. City of birth, Denver. His father was born in New Mexico at the age of 24, and his mom was 20. His father was Anwar Nasser al-Awlaki. It's spelled different. A-U-L-A-Q-I. They spell it phonetically, I suppose. He was born September 13th, 1995. The Obama administration killed him. Let me see if I can pull up another story. That was just a photo. Let's pull up, all right, Truth Out. Let's pull up Truth Out from 2021, a leftist organization, and see what they have to say. Abdulrahman al-Awlaki would have been at 26 today if not for the U.S. drone war. The U.S. must be held accountable for killing Abdulrahman and countless other civilians in the course of the drone war. The U.S.? Sure. How about Obama himself? Just Barack Obama. On a Friday night in southern Yemen, in October 2011, 16-year-old Abdulrahman al-Awlaki was enjoying dinner with his 17-year-old cousin at an open-air restaurant. He was getting ready to say goodbye to him before heading back to his grandpa's house in Yemen's capital city of Sana'a. Abdulrahman was an American born in Denver 26 years ago today, August 26. And this is a story from 2021, mind you. He spent the first 7 years of his life in the U.S. doing what a lot of other U.S. kids do, watching The Simpsons. But on that October night in Yemen, he wouldn't make it back to Sana'a. While he was at dinner, a drone strike authorized by then President Barack Obama was carried out. It killed him, his cousin, and several other civilians. Abdulrahman should have been turning 26 years old today, but instead his future was robbed by the U.S. drone war. His grandfather wrote a plea for answers from the Obama administration in the New York Times in 2013 about the murder of his beloved grandson. That is to say, Barack Obama authorized a drone strike in a country we are not at war with, had not been at war with, on a civilian restaurant, killing civilians and an American citizen. And he has not been arrested. I demand Donald Trump, when you get elected, I demand an AG be put in who will criminally indict Barack Obama for the killing of Abdulrahman al-Awlaki. We had Destiny, the omniliberal on the show, who said the president has wide deference in these kinds of military strikes. I don't care. I will never agree in any circumstance that a U.S. politician at any level, be it a police officer or president, sheriff elected, any government actor, has the unilateral authority to kill an American citizen for any reason. That's it. Now, the argument is if they're engaged in war against us. If in the course of a war, let's say we're talking about something with actual declared war, right? I don't think we've declared a war in the United States since like World War II, but sure. Let's say we do declare war on a country. and an American citizen is fighting in that country against us and dies in the course of war, then I think you just have a hearing about it and we conclude. If this kid, Abdul Rahman, was in a country we were at war with and was waging war against us, I would not be calling for the arrest and prosecution of the war criminal Barack Obama. I'd simply say, in the United States, if you commit crimes against people, people have a right to use self-defense, lethal force against you. If Abdul Rahman was in the United States and he was brandishing a firearm and aiming it at a cop, I would be like, well, self-defense. But he wasn't. He was sitting at a cafe, eating food, and Obama murdered him. That's it. Local residents told me his body was blown to pieces. They showed me the grave where they buried his remains. I stood over it, asking why my grandchild was dead. Nearly 2 years later, I still have no answers. Yeah. They killed his dad, Anwar al-Awlaki, a U.S. citizen accused of being part of al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula. I don't know if that drone strike was in. I believe that strike may have been in or near Syria. I'm not sure if that was. I'm not sure where that was. Let's see. The U.S., like so many victims of U.S. drone strikes, Abdul Rahman was in the wrong place at the wrong time. For the al-Awlaki family, the circumstances around his death were incredibly familiar. Just 2 weeks prior, a U.S.-ordered drone strike killed his father, Anwar al-Awlaki, a U.S. citizen accused of being in al-Qaeda. Well, the drone strike on his father was intentional. Questions still surround the Obama administration's decision to order the drone strike that killed Abdul Rahman. In 2017, the Trump administration approved a U.S. raid targeting al-Qaeda in Al-Ghayil that killed Abdul Rahman's half-sister, Nawar al-Awlaki. Nawar was 8 years old and also an American citizen. And Donald Trump gets no deference from me over this either. However, the claims made pertaining to the commando raid that killed the 8-year-old girl come from various sources on the ground and have not been strongly corroborated. But I don't care. I demand a hearing over that, the same as any other instance of death accusation. Now, this may result in a hearing where they say, look, a commando raid carried out in Yemen for these reasons, blah, 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 blah. The question there is who authorized a strike on a country we are not at war with. I do not believe anyone should be given any preferential treatment. And should the conclusion of this result in the commandos did kill an 8-year-old girl because Donald Trump ordered the raid, what we're dealing with here is probably something more along the lines of manslaughter or something to that effect. Inciting individuals to commit a crime, attacking a country we're not at war with. And so let's just, if there's no war, what basically happens is you've told people to go, shoot and kill people. And that's a crime. And it resulted in the death of an American citizen. So you'll get negligent homicide or something like that. Barack Obama intentionally ordered that strike. Intentionally. That's something very different. But I'm absolutely interested in hearing how this breaks down. I am. Don't care. They say right before President Obama took office, the CIA launched a drone attack on a funeral in Pakistan that killed 41 people. You see? This is the path this country goes down. And the important factor here is, while I can sit here and stare directly into the camera at all of you and say, if Donald Trump killed an 8-year-old girl, then he must be held accountable, criminally charged. I have no problem saying I want justice. But what do we get with the left? They don't care. I mean, look, Truth Out calls it out. That's fine. But they say the U.S. should be held accountable, not Barack Obama, the guy who authorized it. Of course he should be. It's on him. And what do we hear from Destiny when he comes on the show? He says, well, the president has the right to launch these strikes. And sure, he doesn't. But okay. This is where we are currently in this country. Stephen Colbert comes out and says that Trump is not above the law and you can't do these campaign finance violations. And he's an evil man. That's it. Ask anyone. Anyone. Should a president be indicted on vague charges related to FEC campaign violations? or mislabeling, falsifying a record. You know, most people might say, I don't know, man. Misdemeanor falsification of a record, that statute of limitations is only a couple of years. Ask someone else. Do you think someone, you know, here's a question for you. Maybe we can get the guys over at Flecka's to do this. Go down and ask people. Say a general under Donald Trump ordered a drone strike in Yemen that killed an American citizen. Should he be criminally charged? And watch them all say yes. And then say, oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't a general under Trump. That was Barack Obama himself. And then watch them go, I mean, not Obama. Yeah, I don't care for it. You want to blow up a civilian cafe in Yemen? You got mental problems. You want to launch a drone strike on Yemen? Declare war on them. The issue? We have no justification for a war on Yemen. None. Except the Saudis, you know, they make oil. And they help us maintain the petrodollar. That's where we're at, man. Well, we're currently waiting news on what's happening with the case. I've got this from CNN. Trump will appear in court soon in downtown Manhattan to face criminal charges. Watch here. We got, I don't know, some pointless Bill Maher segment playing. Oh, is this, it's just CNN's live coverage, I guess. Actually, let's, happening now. What do we got here? Watch CNN live. Not interested in doing that. Is this all they got? All right, well, we'll just, what's going on with their live stream? Let's see what CNN's got happening. Oh, it's a commercial break. All right, we'll let that roll, and I'll read some super chats from you guys. All right, let's see where we're at with these super chats. It just did a big old jump on me. All right, there was one that I saw that was pretty good. Let me see if I can find this one. Where did it go? Let's see what we got. Oh, I can't see it. Someone was mentioning that they're a first-time Trump supporter. Ian Bridges says, let's see how the felony charges go after the information was leaked from the DA's office. What is this? Is that John Oliver commercial? Oh, jeez. Formulaic, nonsensical. Yeah. Season 10 of John Oliver's show. That's crazy. It's crazy. Well, all right, let's see what we got here. Solon Woodall says, never been a Trumper. I'm one of the first timers who donated Trump 24. Here, man. Here. All right, what do we got here? The Defamation League says, check out the Defamation League's new song, Tovo. Headphones recommended. Very interesting. We have a quote, Baron of Gray Matter references the Tree of Liberty quote from Jefferson. However, I believe Jefferson later conceded that he was wrong when he said that the Tree of Liberty must be watered from time to time. Someone wrote to him like, bro, you need to chill. And he's like, yeah, okay. Maybe you're right. All right. Where are we at? So currently right now, CNN is just talking about food. Sure. John Exler says shirts with you and Timcast regulars mugshots. I think maybe we should make a Trump mugshot shirt. We have Super MAGA where Trump's going Super Saiyan. I think that one's pretty fun. All right. Random Eskimo says, as a teacher, I wholeheartedly support the TikTok ban. The Trump mess is political silliness. It's not to be taken seriously. I agree. Trash Panda says, Democrats 2 for 2 on starting a civil war. Old habits die hard. I'd imagine a civil war here would look like the Troubles in Ireland. That's right. You take a look at what happened in Syria. There were like 12 or 13 different factions that emerged at the start of a civil war. So what is this? The CNN live stream is just running Bill Maher commercials. Oh, that's right, because they signed Bill Maher. Anyway, right. That's what we were talking about. I've had people say to me, like, you're not going to get political leadership. There's no strong enough faction. And it's the most annoying thing to hear. If you don't know anything about other civil wars, just chill. But to be fair, it's not like I'm a historian on all civil wars ever, so I get it. But I just always respond to people with that. Guys, the Spanish Civil War was not like it was not like there was this. There were two factions. There were the Republicans and the Nationalists or whatever. I can't remember. It's been a while since I was reading about it. But it doesn't happen Like a guy in parliament says, I hereby declare civil war on you. It happens spontaneously. And most civil wars, so CNN's not even running anything, he's running commercials. Most civil wars are just factional breakdowns and then violence emerges. Wolfalt de Leon. Trump is a counterpuncher. He's giving himself up and allowing them to arrest him because he knows he's done nothing. And when he's done nothing, and when he arrests them and they resist, having broken the law, optics are perfect. It doesn't matter, though. I hear what you're saying, but it doesn't matter. You can show the proof. You can go down and show these anti-Trumpers the letter from Cohen's lawyer saying Trump was not involved, and they will say, I don't care. They've already told CNN polling. They know it's political. They don't care. All right. Here we go. What's I don't want to play audio from CNN because I don't trust them or whatever, but this is what they're currently showing. Soon Trump leaves Trump Tower for New York courthouse. Anderson Cooper, of course, wasting everyone's time. We'll see where we go from here. But in the meantime, I'm going to try and pull up on the Twitter what we got going on. We got his tweet here from Rich Barris quoting Gavin Mario Wax, who said, good crowd today for President Trump. Thank you, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Rich Barris, the People's Pundit, says, polls clearly show MAGA is younger, more diverse, and more energized than GOP-E. They mobilized a massive peaceful protest, while the Ahoy crowd fail at selling tickets to their next cruise. No wonder they hate them, and like media would love nothing more for them than for them to get rowdy. So I guess what is that? Jake Tapper just wasting everyone's time at this point. So I'll just let him spin his wheels, and then we'll jump back to these super chats and read what y'all have to say. What do we have here? White Rat says Trump resisting was the trap set by the left. If he didn't surrender, they could say he doesn't acknowledge the rule of law. If he does surrender, he forces them to move forward with their BS charges. Yeah, fair point. Emax Tactical says tinfoil hat moment. What do you think regarding New York trying to get Trump into a jail cell to get Clinton? There is no length these people are willing to go to. I guess the question is, will Donald Trump be fairly treated? I would not be surprised if he goes in saying like, oh, we negotiated in advance that I'll go in and I'll plead not guilty and then leave. You guys watch Yellowstone? Spoiler alerts if you haven't watched it and you want to. All right. There's a scene where a far left protester negotiates with the prosecutor a plea deal because she assaulted a cop twice, I guess. And they say the maximum is like 14 years or something like that. But we're going to plead you down to time served. You got to do community service. You got to leave the state, something like that. And she says, OK. The main character says, don't plead guilty or something like that. She goes to the judge and he says, my understanding is that you've come to an agreement with the prosecution. Yes. And the prosecution has worked a deal where you will get time served and then leave and then never come back. And she goes, yes. And he's like, and so you will plead guilty based on this? And she goes, yes. And he goes, okay, how do you plead? She goes, guilty, Your Honor. He goes, okay, now that you've pled guilty, I hereby sentence you to 10 years in prison. And she's like, wait, what? But I had a deal. And he's like, I don't care about that. I'm a judge. I decide. It's his whole arc. And then she ends up getting locked up for a year or something like that. They could cut a deal with Trump and the judge could just be like, Trump, no, remand. Here's what I wonder. Who do they fear the most? Do you think this judge fears Trump supporters? Or do you think he fears liberals? Do Trump supporters live in New York City? Some, but not mostly. So this judge is thinking to himself this. After this is all said and done, I have to drive home. I have to go to the grocery store. I have to go out to eat. If I let Trump go, will I be safe? If I remand Trump, what will happen? If this judge allows Trump to leave, I would not be surprised if Antifa and other far-left extremists attack him, if he's lenient in any way. So he might try and play some middle ground, who knows? But if this judge orders Trump be remanded into custody and he's not free to go, they will cheer his name. They will high-five him on the streets. They will give him hugs and kisses. He will get depending on how he ends up getting this job, whether he's an elected judge or appointed one, he will have the red carpet laid out for him. Understand that. This judge is sitting in New York City, and I'm sure if he is of sound mind and does not have Trump derangement syndrome, then the logic is simple. Why pander to a crowd I don't live near? Now, of course, pander to my neighbors, and I'll be lavished with attention and gifts. I don't think this guy fears Trump supporters. Ain't no Trump supporters living around him. He fears the far left. And if he goes against them and is lenient on Trump, they may get violent. We see it all the time. Why would this judge want to open the door to that kind of risk? I don't think he would. I just want to make sure I'm keeping up with the old Twitter feed as the news is rolling in. I've got this great video from Savannah Hernandez, but I don't think I can play it because it's basically a topless woman screaming racial obscenities. So we'll ignore that, but you can see it on Twitter. And we'll just scrolling down and seeing what's going on real quick. And I'm just basically talking. Marjorie Taylor Greene arrives and quickly leaves the Caddick scene after giving her statements. Here we go. We got something interesting. It looks like Rep. Jamal Bowman reacts to Marjorie Taylor Greene's appearance. Let's pull this in, and I will play this video for all of you.
The crime should be held accountable. Congressman.
Get out of here! Get out of here! Get out of here!
Congressman. What inspired that today?
Jamal Bowman.
What inspired that today, Congressman?
I was born and raised in New York City. This is the city that I love. It's a city focused on hard work and love for all people. We will never accept hateful rhetoric in our city.
What did she say? She said it was political? Jesus.
Any rhetoric that is divisive, any rhetoric that uplifts white supremacy, we are pushing back against that in all its forms. Marjorie Taylor Greene needs to take her back to Washington and do something about gun violence, do something about affordable housing, do something about childhood poverty, do something about climate change. Do your freaking job, Marjorie Taylor Greene. You don't need to be in New York City talking that nonsense. Go back to your district. What are you doing here?
So how is that not divisive? I love it. We have this story I'm pulling in from the Daily Mail. Trump demands Stormy Daniels' hush money cases move to Staten Island hours before arraignment. Says Manhattan voted 1% Republican and tears into Trump hater judge whose daughter worked for Kamala. Okay, so who is this judge? I forgot the guy's name. It's Judge Juan Merchan. Okay. The former president tore into the judge's supposed anti-Trump sentiment on Truth Social. He noted that the judge, Juan Merchan's daughter, Lauren Merchan, worked for Kamala Harris's 2020 presidential campaign. Think about what Jamal Bowman said. Born and raised in New York. And you think this judge is going to be like, I agree, Trump should be allowed to leave. Honestly, I mean, he might. Don't get me wrong. But I just don't know if I believe. I think it's possible that this judge just says, there's too much riding on this. I need to win as much favor as I can. Or maybe he's got Trump derangement syndrome. And he just says, Trump's an evil, evil man. I will not let him go. He will not get a freebie here. So there you go. Wow, I cannot play this video of this woman with white paint all over her body. Yeah, that would get me banned on YouTube. So we'll just jump over here and then take care of Super Chats. And Quantum Strange Quark says, if they gag order Trump, should he just start leaking about the case using deep fake video technology? That would be really funny, I guess. Let me just say, if it were me, I think people need to understand that rules in a system, they're made by people. You know, if they say you can't do a thing, people do it anyway. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I was talking last night to Charlie Kirk about how we're trying to open the Poker with the Boys thing, right? We got that new show we want to do. We got a new club space we're building, 3-story building in West Virginia. It's going to be a coffee shop on the first floor. hangout, games, etc. Second floor. And then we've even got a mezzanine on the first floor. It's Ian's Crystal Cove. On the third floor, we're going to make an elite club, and we want to have poker. Then we want to do poker with the boys. And he was like, I had to explain to him that it's illegal. And he was shocked. He was like, wait, poker games are illegal? And I was like, yes, dude. They're like illegal everywhere. They've been legalizing them recently, though. And then he was like, but people play poker. And I'm like, yes, because even though things are illegal, people do them. Then he laughed. He's like, right, touche. That's the thing. My view of a lot of these laws are just that. You've got to think about the way the system actually works. And the way the system works for those with power is not based on laws. It's based on power. That's it. A man is in his home and far left extremists show up. The same group of people had set fire to a house previously twice. He brandishes a shotgun in his own home through the window, with a window in front of him. I don't want to say through the window because I don't make it seem like he opened it or anything. Police show up, go into his house and arrest him. Why? Because the police said it is easier to arrest the individual in his home than the people inciting or agitating outside. That's the nature of how the system really works. If you are an individual wearing a MAGA hat, peacefully walking through New York City, and a large group of anti-Trump people start harassing you, the cops will probably arrest you. I'm not exaggerating. We've seen this before. Or what they'll do is they'll pull you out and say, you're gone, you leave. And you'll say, I'm just walking on. They don't care. One time, I'm sitting in a cab on the other side of the Manhattan Bridge in New York City. I call a cab as I'm leaving a bar. There was a work party thing. And the cab drives me across the bridge, which comes off onto Broadway. And I live straight there, right there on Broadway, just right down that road. Well, I doze off. And then, I'm only half asleep. I feel a turn. I'm like, what? And I sit up. The guy made a left turn. I said, where are you going? And he was like, oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. I'm like, no. I live on Broadway. I gave you my address. And he's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. He was trying to zigzag to crank up the meter. So I say, stop the car. I'll get out here. He says, no. I say, stop the car. I'll get out here. He slows down for a light. I say, I'm getting out. Stop the car. And he goes, no. Again, I pop the door. He starts driving. I jump out. He gets out screaming at me. I call the cops. I go into a gas station. There's this guy's outside screaming belligerent. I call the cops. The cops show up. I explain what happened. The cops tell me, F you. The cops robbed me. They say, give us your wallet. They took my cash and they gave it to the guy. And they say, go home. That's how it really works. That's how the law really works. The law really works in a way that's what is easier. If the cop goes after the taxi driver files a complaint, cab company takes it up with the New York City Police Department. Now all of a sudden you've got this paperwork. Oh, jeez. Why don't we just rob the passenger? What am I going to do about it? I'm just one dude. The Taxi and Limousine Commission's a big organization, probably with a union or something like that. That's how it really works. I think most of you know this. If you're rich, you do whatever you want. Rich dude gets caught committing a crime. Clinton's, Hunter Biden. But Donald Trump's an outsider who threatens that machine. So it's easier for them to go after Trump. That's the way it works. That's how the law actually works. All right. Cam Girl Asuna says there's but one path before us. No more of this foolish, naive, faux peace. No more compromise with evil. To all the naysayers who say war is psychotic, just remember that our country was founded by it against evil. Well, I tell you this, y'all do not want to experience war. And the best outcome for this, there is a path before us. And that path is Donald Trump overcomes these charges. It emboldens him. He wins. He cleans up the swamp. And we never actually see that degree of violence. That is, I believe, a very, very likely path laid out before us. There will be violence to the degree that, Antifa engages in violence. Don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is this may be a major misstep by the far left, by the Democrats. It may create a martyr of Trump. He's now getting new supporters and making more money. We've already heard it from one super chatter. He may get new voters because of this. I believe he is on track to win. I don't know what will happen in the next couple of years, in the year and a half or whatever. But let's say Donald Trump wins, and there's a very likely path where he does. He goes in, bureaucrats flee the scene, he cleans up shop, reform begins, and we pull ourselves out of this tailspin and start soaring again in a great America. I believe there's a very, very, very strong possibility of that. Historical precedent as well. But we'll see. And that's what we want to happen. We want Trump to win. We want to clean up the corruption and then marginalize these people. We want to push the politically corrupt people into the sidelines where they eventually just give up because there's no fruit to be born. All right. What do we got here? Luke says, Tim, the ideology of the left cult is changed. They want change even if the result is worse, just so they can feel good about change. They are the culmination of short-term gratification culture. I completely agree. All right, let's grab some more. What is this? What is this? Buzz says, all I got to say is the idiots have taken over by NoFX, the song. Perhaps. Iggy the Incubus says, I just want a pic of Trump handcuffed with the caption, they're not after me, they're after you. I'm just in the way. That's all I want. Remember when AOC pretended to be handcuffed? There's a reason she did it. She wanted the image. She is a con artist. Let's see if Donald Trump does the same thing, just walks with his hands behind his back. Get the same photo. I think he should. Get all the left all hot and bothered. All right. Immortal Legend says, do you think if Trump is retained, that the judge could be sued for election interference? Do you mean remanded into custody? I don't know. You can sue anybody. Doesn't mean you'll win. So, Alien 420 in Catfish Jew says, Tim, we love you. April 20th is my wife, Jennifer, and my Ben 20th anniversary, and she would love me forever for the shout out. Thanks again. We love you. Hey, I really appreciate the super chat. So, Jennifer and Ben, happy anniversary. That sounds very, very lovely. I'll just keep my eye on Twitter for the time being as we're waiting for this. And still not very many updates. Just waiting on the news. More live streams, more chilling. We'll see how long I can keep this up. Because I got to be honest, it is just a wait and see kind of day. And, I'll put it this way. After a few hours of there being like nothing but 50 versions of the same story, I was kind of just like, I talked about it in the morning. I can't do the same video where I just say, the breaking news is that we're waiting. So I was like, I'll do a live stream. We'll hang out for a little bit. But, we may just have to wrap up the stream in a few minutes and then wait until Timcast IRL tonight for that resolution. So if you haven't already, here's what you should do. Let me see if we go to Timcast News. Click the Join Us button to become a member. Then get access to the Discord server where you can hang out in our VIP chat 24/7. And if you're a standard member at $10 after 6 months, you'll get upgraded instantly to the VIP chat room. That gate exists because we're trying to prevent far left weirdos and extremists from breaking in. Or you can just immediately sign up for $25 a month. And that gives you access to the VIP chat room immediately. And then I'm not sure if we set it up yet, but we're doing like a $25 chat room VIP, which can only be attained by being a $25 member, because there's got to be some more incentive than just, instant access. But some people even just after 6 months just drop down to the 25 level. And we simply do that because we have to create some kind of barrier for these weirdos who want to come in, sabotage the Discord or attack us or things like that. Not like 6 months or $25 is that big of a deterrent, but it's the best we could do. So become a member if you want to support our work. We got breaking news here from CNN. Trump is officially en route to his arraignment at the NYC courthouse. Oh boy. I believe CNN's got a chopper tracking the action. You know what? It is pretty crazy in a lot of cities. This is just like a normal thing, but they build massive structures over highways, just like we're seeing that right now. It's just kind of a crazy thing if you think about it. They're like, we're going to build a skyscraper. It's like, where? There's nowhere to build it. We'll put it on stilts and we'll put it over that highway. So here we go. The arrest and arraignment of Donald Trump. I can't believe this is happening. Can you? I guess I can. This is crazy. The Motorcade is currently heading down. What is that? The East Side Highway, heading towards the Manhattan the district court. This is crazy. I wonder if we've got any other live streams here up on Twitter, because I'm not really interested in tracking CNN. Let's see. Trump arraignment and adult human female are both currently trending at the top. That's weird. What's the latest here? We got some live streams going over on Twitter. Nope, just videos being posted. Marjorie Taylor Greene giving some interviews. Yeah, I guess the CNN feed showing the cars currently heading down right now. You can see it right here. And I'll see if we've got anybody else, because I don't like CNN. I don't want to use CNN if I don't have to. But I don't. Just videos of women dancing to Trump's arrestment, I guess. What do we have here? This may be something. European source in French. I believe they might have a video. Let me see if I can find another live stream separate from CNN. I don't think so. This is being tracked internationally, of course. Right now, this is the biggest, one of the biggest stories in the history of this country. So we've got CNN site pulled up. We are actively commenting on the live breaking news here. There's not much going on, so I don't want to just show too much of this because I don't trust CNN anyway. So let me just pop over to our newsroom and see if we've got any major developments here. Doesn't seem like it necessarily. And over on Twitter, I'm trying to track for any other breaking live videos of Trump's arrival. I don't know who is, what do we have here? If anybody else is live streaming, anyone on the ground, I'm not sure. What do we have here, huh? Liz Wheeler, Trump motorcade on the move from Trump Tower to the Manhattan courthouse. What an embarrassment to our nation. So here we go. I think CNN has the only live feed of Trump currently at the moment. It looks like Jason Miller has posted a photo. Let's pull this one up. Let's see if I can get this going. Jason Miller has posted a photo. Looks like he is in the motorcade as they're currently en route. And we have the live stream here. Trump en route to indictment at NYC courthouse. Breaking news. There's not much going on other than just images of traffic. So we'll leave it at that because I don't see a point in just showing. I don't see a point in promoting, giving CNN any free airtime. Okay, this is crazy. I don't know if I can show this, but I got to show this. So we got to do it. This is a video of a man being dragged out who grabbed a media member grabbed and threatened Viral News New York, threatening to kill him. This is crazy. I mean, well, you can call that violence already, I suppose. It looks like this guy's working with one of the networks, so I'm not entirely sure which one. The Trump motorcade is currently still moving and en route to the courthouse. I'm going to keep up with it and just keep tracking the current news. And then let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got in the news. For the time being, he should be arriving any moment now. And I don't know who we have. Maybe Savannah Hernandez, who's got a live stream up. We don't even have a live stream up. Vice actually might. I think Vice had a live stream up earlier. I don't know if they still do. Just clips being posted by Savannah Hernandez. NYC and NYPD have blocked off and surrounded the entire entrance. This is 48 minutes ago from Sav. Let me pull that one in. They have blocked off and surrounded the entire entrance to the Manhattan Criminal Courthouse. Helicopters are overhead. All right, so that's the latest update there. And then let me see. I think Vice has a live stream. Not like I like them either, but if they've got something on Twitter, let's see. I think Vice does have a live stream on Twitter right now. Could be wrong. No, they don't have a live stream. They got something on Twitch.
I think the common ground is, yo, we both too old for this shit.
Just like, people talking, so not much going on here. But I'll keep monitoring this stream. You know what's funny? I'm watching this Vice News live stream, and it's funny because I started their whole live, system, and their live stream now, it's actually like worse. It's worse. How does it get worse? It's been a decade, guys. It was 10 years ago I set that up for them. Anyway, what can I say? That's just That's just my view. So it is what it is. Like the quality is trash. They got a guy in studio holding a microphone. Like, what are they doing? 2 people. And they're streaming on Twitch. That's the crazy thing, to 600 people. Let me stress that again. I am sitting here doing a newsroom live stream showing tweets, and there's 24,000 people watching, and they've got on the ground coverage so bad, 600 people. Congratulations, guys. Fox has a live stream, I believe people are saying. Let me see if we can pull up Fox. Protesters get physical. Live updates. Do we have live video from Fox News here? We do. We do have live video from Fox News. And let's see how things go. It's allergy season, man. All the flowers are outside and my nose is itching. All right. While we're watching this motorcade, that's all it is. I mean, it's a bunch of police vehicles and Secret Service just driving Trump down. But I'm sure we'll get a statement from Trump once. Let me see if is there audio on this one. I don't think they got audio on this one. Looks like the stream cut out. All right. Well, we'll just we'll pop that up. Donald Trump is currently en route. Takes a long time to drive around New York City. Read some more super chats. So smash that like button. Get those super chats in on the special breaking news coverage here. A special Timcast news show. The biggest story this may be the biggest story of our generation. The arrest and arraignment, the first time ever of a former president. Got to drink my coffee over here. Normally I just drink in between segments, but we got big breaking news, so you got to watch me drink coffee. All right. Frederick von Stein says, I hope this leads to Republicans realizing they need to do ballot harvesting en masse. Whatever it takes to legally win. Legally. That's the key. Yeah. And as Charlie Kirk pointed out, the 3 states, Arizona, Georgia, and Wisconsin, it's not legal to ballot harvest, but ballot chasing is. And ballot chasing is when you go to someone's door and you say, hey, fill out that vote, and even assist them in going to vote. All right. It looks like the motorcade is arriving. The screen just went out, but we are still here, and my allergies are going crazy. All these, Tim got the sniffles. It's all these dang old flowers. We got these weird plants I've never seen before that look like tiny little trees. It's weird. All right, there we go. Motorcade is now in Lower Manhattan, making its way to the courthouse. And wouldn't it be fun to hang out on that rooftop? Just hang out on a New York rooftop, get a little couch and, get a TV up there. That'd be fun. That's what we got to do. We got a little TV hangout on the roof, a little gazebo. Anyway, here we go. I wonder where this feed is coming from, to be completely honest, because I think this is the same feed that CNN's using, so it's got to be some kind of shared pool service or something. But there we go. We see the barricades. They are arriving right now. Donald Trump, breaking, is arriving to the courthouse. They are very close. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. And hard for the helicopter to see now. Look at that optical zoom. I believe this is the courthouse right here. So this is the courthouse. You can see all of the people down there on the ground. Helicopter is going to have to swoop around if they're going to see this one. And then we'll see. Let me make sure I'm tracking Twitter properly so that we can see when Trump does arrive. I want to make sure we get his speech. But for the time being, 9 minutes ago, Trump departs from Trump Tower, head to Manhattan Courthouse for arraignment. But it looks like he's here. Looks like Trump is currently arriving. There's the motorcade. The helicopter is getting into position. We can see what looks like Secret Service. They're going to be bringing Donald Trump out and brought into a side door. Here we go. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. I think they're pulling Donald Trump out of the vehicle. There he is. You can tell by his hair. Trump waves. All right, we're on the ground. No audio, though. No audio. No audio yet, which is strange. There should be. Let me see if I can. It's unmuted. There's just there's no audio here. Let me see if does CNN have anything? CNN may have audio on this one.
Looking at now of the former president walking down with several of his Secret Service officers walking into the building.
All right, we don't need to play their games on this one because CNN is untrustworthy and they're basically just doing the same thing I'm doing anyway. So we got this video right here. It looks like Donald Trump is heading into. I don't see Trump. I know Trump was supposed to give a speech outside of the courthouse before going in. So I don't know where he's going to be. But it looks like he may have gone in. That's it. People are saying, check out his latest truths. I don't know if I can. I'll try. Because they make you log in. All right, 3 minutes ago, Donald Trump truth. He said, heading to Lower Manhattan, the courthouse seems so surreal. Wow, they're going to arrest me. Can't believe this is happening in America. MAGA. 2 hours ago, he says, when you see rhinos, Karl Rove, Bill Barr, or Paul Ryan on your television screen, just turn to a different station or turn off your set. You're better off watching the Democrats. Wow. Trump's calling for a donation, saying, I need your help. Please contribute. Why does Fox keep putting on Bill Barr? As Attorney General, he was a complete coward who was absolutely petrified of being impeached, which the Democrats threatened to do until he became their virtual slave and refused to investigate and prosecute the massive election fraud. Well, I think Trump is certainly wrong about that. You know my position there. But didn't have the guts to properly do so. And now we have a nation in massive decline. It is ballot harvesting. Come on, guys. Call it whatever you want to call it. Fine. I don't care. Ballot harvesting. We know. Ballot chasing in states where you can ballot chase and ballot harvesting if and where it is legal. In many of these states, you go into a nursing home. You say, fill out your votes. You sign a caretaker name on it. I take them for you. They allow that. It's legal in a lot of states. Make sure it's all being done properly and legally and maximize the amount of votes you collect. I think this is it so far. So for us, we'll stay live for a little bit, but may have to just wait until Timcast IRL for the full picture here. This was the challenge with the traditional segments that I normally do. You know, typically news stories break. It's like, boom, here's a story. I can record about it. I can pull some context. I can talk about it. But this is a major historical moment warranting a live stream tracking in real time because it's granular. Every minute, there is a tiny fraction of a story. We can't just sit, record for 20 minutes and then say, have a nice day, because the story is happening now. This is history being made, my friends. Let's read some more super chats from all of you guys. Raymond G. Stanley Jr. says, taking a late lunch, I can't miss Mr. MAGA and this historic moment. Their blatant overreach will turn out to be their downfall. Forward the line. I believe that's very likely. Very, very likely. Lord Dynal says, Tom McDonald on Timcast IRL when? Maybe even a Trash House Records partner. Hey, y'all just got to ask Tom McDonald. He's got an open invite. I've talked to him quite a bit. We've talked about him coming on the show. He's just far away. So anytime he is able to come on the show, we are ready to host him, and we'd be excited too because I'm a big fan. Yo, his music's fantastic. And then, whenever he can, I suppose. What do we got here? Jens Peterson says, I had hope for populism, but it seems after some time in power, they cave and become more and more establishment over time. It's a shame. Yeah. I am what I am says local honey helps with allergies. I don't believe that because we have local organic honey. We have tons of it. And I have some periodically. I don't know what it's supposed to do with my allergy. It doesn't do anything. Just, you just get itchy nose. The flowers are everywhere. It is what it is. All right. Where are we at with the latest developments? Donald Trump has arrived at Alvin Bragg's office in Manhattan and is now officially under arrest. It has been confirmed. Trump has been arrested. Okay. There it is. Breaking news. Donald Trump has surrendered to New York authorities. He will be arraigned before a judge soon. Follow for live updates. So that's it. I thought he was going to give a speech. I guess he's not. And we're not going to be seeing anything else. because they're not allowing cameras in the courtroom. So it is what it is. I suppose what I'm going to do is go exercise and eat some food and get ready for tonight, which should prove to be one of the most important IRL shows that we do, because we will have the latest info and updates on exactly what's happening with Donald Trump and his arraignment and his speech. He's going to be giving a speech about 8:15. We will be live. We will have that, assuming we're able to have it. I think we will be. So we will have that speech during IRL, commenting on it live. This is big. But for the time being, the only real thing I have to show you is NYPD officers smiling at each other and not much left to do. Trump is going to be going before the judge around 2:15. He was supposed to give a speech before going in. I guess he didn't. He may give one coming out. I kind of don't think so based on the security circumstances, but he's supposed to speak at about 8:15 about this. So we're definitely going to be on top of this. This is insane, to put it simply. So I'm going to wrap things up for now, and really do appreciate everybody tuning in and super chatting. Become a member at timcast.com. This is important. Go to timcast.com, become a member, and then after you're a member, click the Discord button to get instructions on how to join the server and talk with all of us. Timcast news reporters and staff are hanging out in the chat room, talking with you guys. So we're more connected that way. And if you want to get instant access to the VIP chat room and voice channels, become a member at $25 per month to instantly bypass the gatekeeping line and begin chatting and talking with everybody. And you will have access to the call-in show tonight at about 10 p.m. Timcast Uncensored on timcast.com. We take call-ins. So last night we had people calling in and talking with Charlie Kirk. It was really, really awesome. He actually stayed a little bit later than he was able, because he's a good dude and he wanted to take your questions and talk about Easter's coming up. So I think that was the call-in show is my favorite part of the day, to be completely honest, because now it feels like we're having real conversations. So support us that way. Share this channel, subscribe to this channel, smash the like button, all that stuff. Follow me on Twitter. I'm going to go get some exercise and then eat dinner and start tracking this and get ready for tonight's show, which should be big. So thank you all so much for hanging out, and I will see you all then.